again, welcome back to the children. Today, we will see another interesting topic for you. This chapter is the fourth chapter in our literature pillar. This chapter is called The Chocolate Room. How is the name? Chocolate Room. We all like to have one chocolate, right? A dairy milk, sometimes a perk, at least a munch. Okay, even if it is dairy milk, it can be of different size, 10 rupee, 20 rupee, 40 rupee, it goes on, or a family pack. Some of your mouths are watering, I know. Here is a person called Willy Wonka. He is a famous chocolate factory owner. His factory is called Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. You know, in this factory they make chocolate. And sometimes, when we buy something, there will be gift cards in that. Okay, some sweets and all will be having gift cards. Sometimes we will get money, sometimes we will get something else. So once Willy Wonka, what he did was, actually this chapter is taken from a big story. It's only a small one. So I will tell you what happens. Actually, this chapter is taken from a big story. And what he did was, in some of his chocolates, he placed a ticket, a golden ticket. Only a few tickets. Imagine 10 tickets. Lakhs of chocolates are produced, and out of that, only in 10 he placed the ticket. And whoever gets this ticket can come to the factory one day, a particular date is there, and they all will be taken inside the factory. They will be shown everything, how the chocolate is made. They will be shown the wonders in the factory. And another thing, the main thing is, those 10, imagine 10, okay, those 10 children or grown, whoever it is, whoever gets the ticket can go, and whoever gets the ticket, those 10 people will get a lifelong free chocolate. Interesting, isn't it? If Dairy Milk Company, Cadbury is telling us that you are selected, you are the winner of a contest, and here on, whenever you like, you can go to a shop and buy chocolate till the end of your life. If it is told like that, we are really happy, isn't it? Here it happens. So these children are going into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory on a particular day, which is told, with their parents, and they are seeing the wonders in that factory. So many things are there in that factory. Even a river is there. Even that river is chocolate. Okay, even that river is made of chocolate because it's mixing. The mixed item is flowing like a river. So this is a great wonder for the children, and they enjoy everything. So this is the chapter which shows how they were wondering, how they enjoyed their hours in this factory. The other things you can just search for this story, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Okay, actually it's not chocolate room, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, and you will get the full story. You can read from the net or somewhere else. But here we will see their experience and enjoyment in the factory. So let us see the chapter and come back. Okay, enjoy the chapter because it's an interesting thing for you.
Willy Wonka, as I told, is the owner of the world's largest and most famous chocolate factory. And as we have seen, he invites 5 children with their parents for a tour in his factory. Okay, and we will see what all things they saw in the factory. Now they are inside the chocolate factory. And Willy Wonka is explaining everything to the children as well as their parents. An important room this, cried Mr. Wonka, taking a bunch of keys from his pocket and slipping one into the keyhole of the door. So now they are in front of a room, and Willy Wonka said, this room is very, very important in our chocolate factory. He took a bunch of keys from his pocket and he was opening the door. Okay. This is the nerve center of the whole factory, the heart of the whole business, and so beautiful. I insist upon my rooms being beautiful. I can abide ugliness in factories. In we go then. But do be careful, my dear children. Don't lose your heads. Don't get overexcited. Keep very calm. See, we know the main thing in our body is our nerve system. Okay, nerve system. Okay, including the veins and all. Everything includes in the nerve system. So nerve system is the most important part of a human being's body. So what he said is, this room is the nerve center of the whole factory. That means the most important part of the whole factory. And it is the heart of the whole business. We know the heart is very important in a human body. So this room is the heart of Willy Wonka's whole business, chocolate business. I can abide ugliness in factories. So he said, I don't permit, don't think about, I cannot imagine about ugliness in my factory. In we go then. So now we are going in. We are going to the most important room in our factory. It is the nervous system or the heart of this factory. And he also just warns the children like this. He gave a warning. Go then, but do be careful, my dear children. He just gives a warning by saying them to be careful, because don't lose your heads. So what is meant by lose your heads? That means don't become overexcited. Okay, don't become overexcited, because you are going to see something very important in the chocolate factory. So don't become overexcited. Okay, keep very calm. Be always very calm. He opened the door. 5 children and 9 grown-ups pushed their ways in. And oh, what an amazing sight it was that now met their eyes. So Willy Wonka opened the door of this room. These 5 children and the 9 grown-ups with them, they just entered inside the factory, and see what a wonderful sight, what an amazing sight it was that met their eyes. They saw an amazing sight. They were looking down upon a lovely valley. Okay, the room was not like a room like we have in our home. They were looking at it was a big hall. Inside the hall, it was seemed like a valley. You know what a valley is? Mountains, rivers, everything will be there in a valley. Okay, so they were looking upon a lovely valley, a wonderful valley. There were green meadows on either side of the valley, and along the bottom of it, there flowed a great brown river. So in that valley, there were meadows. You know what is meadow? Grass-covered land. Okay, so both sides there is grass-covered land, and in the middle there was a river flowing. The river was in brown color. Okay. What is more, there was a tremendous waterfall halfway along the river. A steep cliff over which the water curled and rolled in solid sheet, and then went crashing down into a boiling, churning whirlpool of froth and spray. See, sometimes in valleys we will see wonderful waterfalls. So here this river was flowing. After some time, there was a cliff. What is meant by cliff? The edge of a brick edge of a stone from where the water is falling down. You would have seen waterfalls. When there is a waterfall, there is a place from where the water is falling down. The edge of a stone is called cliff. So from there, the brown colored water was falling down. It was twisting, it was turning, and when it falls down, there were whirlpools. What is meant by whirlpool? It is not the fridge and AC and all. One company is there called Whirlpool. Whirlpool means in Malayalam we call chuji. Chuji എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സംഭവമുണ്ട് വെള്ളത്തിൽ. Okay. So water is twisting. That is called whirlpool. So it was falling down, and there was vapors. Everything was there. It was like a normal waterfall. Okay. Yeah. And there was spray. There was everything like a waterfall. Below the waterfall, and this was the most astonishing sight of all. So there was a waterfall. When you look down the waterfall, there was the most wonderful and astonishing sight. A whole mass of enormous glass pipes were dangling down into the river from somewhere high up in the ceiling. They really were enormous, those pipes. See, where the water was falling, they could see some big, enormous pipes, glass pipes. Okay, then they were coming down from the ceiling. So actually, they are in a room. The room is set up like a valley. There is a river, there is a waterfall, everything. So the water is falling. Brown colored water is falling. Where the water falls from there, this water is pumped through glass pipes to the ceiling. Okay, I believe you understand. Yeah. They were enormous, really enormous, those pipes. They were really big pipes. There must have been a dozen of them at least. There were a dozen of them. You know what a dozen is? A dozen means 12 numbers are called dozen. Okay. There were a large number of such huge pipes, and they were sucking up the brownish muddy water from the river and carrying it away to goodness knows where. See, I already told you the water is falling down. After the water falls down into a pool, from there, 12 pipes were sucking up, or carrying the entire muddy colored or brown colored water to the ceiling. And goodness knows where it goes. We cannot understand, we don't know where the water is taken in those pipes. So, after the waterfall, the water is not flowing anywhere. From there, the entire water is carried in pipes, big pipes, okay, enormous pipes. Okay, and because they were made of glass, you could see the liquid flowing and bubbling along inside them, and above the noise of the waterfall, you could hear the never-ending sucking sound of pipes, and as they did their work. See, I already told you these pipes are made of glass, so you can see what is inside, and you can see the brown colored water going up. So after the sound of waterfalls, see, when water is falling, there will be a sound. Even if you take some water in a cup and pour it down, there will be a sound. So a waterfall has huge sound. After the sound of waterfall, you can see the pipes sound where the pipe is sucking the water up. Suck sound is heard. And the pipes are doing their work. They are carrying the entire brown colored water, and you can see the water being carried inside the pipe because the pipes are made of glass. Okay, so now the water is going through this pipe to the ceiling. We don't know where it is going. Graceful trees and bushes were growing along the river bank. See, when you watch a river, when you see a river, at both sides of the river, you can see so many beautiful and green colored or different colored trees growing and bushes growing. At the same way, there were weeping willows. What are weeping willows? Meanings are given there. Trees with thin leaves and long branches that bend downwards. So, such trees are there. And alders are there. Alders means trees that grow near water and have round leaves and long thin yellow flowers. And tall clumps of rhododendrons were there. What is rhododendrons? They are large bushes with big flowers and leaves that stay green all year, because that is near the water, so they always remain green all the year. Those trees are with their pink and red and mauve blossoms, so different colored flowers are there. Okay, in the meadows there were thousands of buttercups. What are buttercups? Small plants with bright yellow flowers. Okay, and see, you can see a real meadow, a real river bank with a lot of different kinds of trees, plants and flowers. Okay. And now Willy Wonka is crying. There, cried Mr. Wonka, dancing up and down and pointing his gold-topped cane at the great brown river. See, he has a cane in his hand, or a stick in his hand. It has a gold cap at it. He was pointing to different things using this stick. And he was just pointing to the river, and he just said, there, it's all chocolate. By showing the river, he told, the water in the river is chocolate, the trees are chocolate, the flowers are chocolates, the meadows, the grass, everything is chocolate. Every drop of that river is hot melted chocolate of the finest quality. See, the water, the brown colored water, every drop of water running through that river is melted, finest quality chocolate. The very fine quality, that is the best quality chocolate. There is enough chocolate in there to fill every bathtub in the entire country. and all the swimming pools as well. See, there is enough chocolate in that river. This chocolate, if we use for filling bathtubs and swimming pools in the country, there is enough. You can use this to fill the bathtubs and swimming pools in the country. That means there is enough and more. Okay, so the entire river, everything in that area is made of chocolate. Isn't it terrific? And just look at my pipes. See, we already saw there were glass pipes, and he says, doesn't it seem to be terrific because a river made of chocolate? These pipes suck up the chocolate and carry it away to all the other rooms in the factory where it is needed. See, from here, the pipes are sucking up and carrying the chocolate, that means the melted chocolate, to the different rooms in the factory where it is needed. Okay, thousands of gallons an hour, my dear children. Gallon is the quantity, like liters. Gallon is a huge quantity. See, thousands of gallons an hour is being taken to different factories, my dear children. Thousands and thousands of gallons, okay, are being taken in this pipe every hour. Okay. The children and their parents were too flabbergasted to speak. They are shocked. They cannot even speak out. They are seeing such a wonderful and amazing sight. Flabbergasted means shocked. They were staggered. They were dumbfounded. Dumbfounded means surprised and speechless. Dumb means who cannot speak. They are speechless. They were bewildered and dazzled. They are that much wondered. They were shocked. They were unable to speak anything. They were completely bowled over by the hugeness of the whole thing. They are shocked by the hugeness of whole thing. See, that much chocolate was there. They simply stood and stared. They cannot speak. They cannot talk anything. They are simply standing and watching everything. Okay. The waterfall is most important, and he explains about the river and waterfall, and he says the waterfall is the most important one in my factory. He went on. It mixes the chocolate, it churns it up, it pounds it and beats it. It makes it light and frothy. See, when the chocolate falls down like a waterfall, see, there is the perfect mixing taking place. It mixes everything. It makes it soft. Okay, it makes it frothy means it makes it soft and clearly mixed. No other factory in the world mixes its chocolate by waterfall, but it is the only way to do it properly. And what he says is there are so many chocolate factories in the world, but only my factory is mixing chocolate by using a waterfall. And this is the proper way. This is the proper way to do, or proper way to mix. Okay, the only way. And do you like my trees? He cried, pointing with his stick. And my lovely bushes? Don't you think they look pretty? And I told you I hated ugliness. And of course, they are all eatable, all made of something different and delicious. And do you like my meadows? Do you like my grass and my buttercups? The grass you are standing on, my dear little ones, is made of new kind of soft, minty sugar that I have just invented. I call it sweat. Try a blade. Please do. It is delectable. Okay. See, he said the waterfall is the best way to mix the chocolate, and only his chocolate factory is doing it. And this is the only way to mix the chocolate properly. The proper mixing is taking place when it falls down. And he also, as I already told you, even the trees, bushes, plants, the meadows, everything is a kind of chocolate, which as he says, it is made of a kind of minty sugar, which he has newly invented, and everything is eatable. It is delicious, and he asked them to try it. Okay, everything is eatable in that room. Automatically, everybody bent down and picked up one blade of grass. Everybody, that is, except Augustus Gloop, who took a big handful. See, everybody bent down and took a small leaf of grass and they ate. Only one person, his name was Augustus Gloop, he took a big handful of this because he will be really liking the chocolates. I know everyone likes the chocolate, so in that eagerness, he takes a handful of those grasses. And Violet Beauregard, before tasting her blade of grass, took the piece of world record breaking chewing gum out of her mouth and stuck it carefully behind her ear. See, another lady was there. Her name was Violet Beauregard. It's a name, it's that lady's name. She already had a chewing gum in her mouth, and for a long time she had been chewing it because there was no place to spit it out. Okay, there was no place to leave it. So that is why it is said that the piece of world record breaking chewing gum. That means she had used it for, has been chewing the same piece of gum for 3 months. Okay, she took it out and placed it behind her ear because here she cannot put it, and now she is tasting the grass. Okay, isn't it wonderful? Whispered Charlie. Hasn't it got a wonderful taste, Grandpa? And Charlie is the one who is the hero of the story. I told you in the beginning, this is taken from a big story. And Charlie is the one who got chance at last. And he is with his grandpa. And Charlie says, Grandpa, isn't it really wonderful? I could eat the whole field, said Grandpa Joe. So his grandpa's name is Joe. He says, I could eat the whole field. I like to eat the whole field. He's grinning with delight. He's really happy. He's laughing with delight. I could go around and all fours like cow and eat every blade of grass in the field. If it permits, I will go like a cow and eat every grass on the field because they are made of they are chocolates. Okay, even the grandpa likes it. Try a buttercup, cried Mr. Wonga. They are even nicer. See, there are buttercups, they are flowers. Try them, they are even nicer. Okay. Suddenly, the air was filled with screams of excitement. The screams came from Veruca's flat. She was pointing frantically to the other side of the river. Look over there, she screamed. What is it? He is moving. He is walking. It's a little person. It's a little man down there below the waterfall. So, when Willy Wonka asked them to try and eat the buttercup, okay, the flower, even which is a chocolate, one lady, what is her name? Veruca Salt, she just made a scream. She shouted excitedly. She was pointing to the other side of the waterfall or the river because she saw something there. There was this tiny creature. It was like a human being, a man, and it was walking. It was a little person, something like a dwarf. Everybody stopped picking buttercups and stared across the river. Now, everybody was plucking up this flower to eat. Now, everybody stopped it and looked the other side of the river. She is right, Grandpa, cried Charlie. It's a little man. Can you see him? There is a little man at the other side. Charlie also saw that. And he says to Grandpa, Grandpa, can you see it? I see him, Charlie, said Grandpa Joe excited. I also see him. And now everybody started shouting at once. There is two of them. It's not one. There is two of them. My gosh, so there is more than two. There is one, there is two, there is 3, 4, 5. Okay. See, they could see many of them, tiny creatures at the other side of the waterfall. What are they doing? Where do they come from? Who are they? So many questions were asked by different people to Willy Wonka. What are they doing there? Where do they come from? Where did they come from? And who are they? Children and parents alike rushed down to the edge of the river to get a closer look. They all came close to the river to have a close look at these tiny creatures. Aren't they fantastic? Okay. He is asking, Willy Wonka is asking, aren't they, those tiny creatures, fantastic? No higher than my knee. See, they are not higher than my knee. They are very small. Look at their funny long hair. The tiny men, they were no longer than medium-sized dolls, had stopped what they were doing and now they were staring back across the river at the visitors. See, now those men who were working there, they seemed like small dolls. They stopped working and they are now looking at these people. Okay. these visitors. One of them pointed towards the children and then he whispered something to the other four, and all five of them burst into peals of laughter. So they also were looking at these people and children, and one of them just pointed his hand towards this children, and he said something to the other ones, and they all started to laugh. But they can't be real people, Charlie said. Charlie said, they cannot be real people because there are no such tall people, even below our knee high. Okay, Charlie is telling. Of course, they are real people, Willy Wonka said. They are Oompa Loompas. Okay, you would have heard about that story, isn't it? Oompa Loompas. Okay, one cartoon is there. So this is a story. So anything can happen. So these creatures are called Oompa Loompas. See, this is only a small part from this story. I already told you this is a big story. Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. This story is called Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, and we have seen a small part of it. Okay.
I believe you have enjoyed the chapter very well. Some of you will be wishing to get at least one chocolate now, isn't it, after reading the chapter? Because chocolate is always tempting us. Okay, it is something which causes us or tempt us to buy new one, other one, another one. Whenever somebody comes to our home, also we expect a chocolate. When father is going out and coming back, we expect a chocolate. So here in this chapter, it was really interesting, isn't it? See, as I told you, a river itself is made of chocolate. Everything is made of chocolate. A big chocolate factory owner just shows everything and gives you, if one of you were in that, okay, he gives you lifelong full of chocolates. Really interesting. Okay. So just go to the chapter, read it again and again and again. It's understand because it's an interesting chapter for you. Okay. Thank you.